Mariner Books and HarperAudio present Earthly Materials, Journeys Through Our Body's Emissions, Excretions, and Disintegrations, by Cutter Wood. Read by Josh Bloomberg. A note before we begin. Don't forget to download the accompanying enhancement PDF from your audiobook provider. It contains images from the book and will be referred to throughout as the enhancement. 4E. Que tu cuerpo sea siempre un amado espacio de revelaciones. May your body always be a beloved space of revelations. Alejandra Pizarnik. Preface. An hour's drive from present-day Baghdad, a series of mounds dot a desolate, reddish plain. 4,000 years ago, before the course of the Euphrates migrated west, this was the ancient Sumerian city of Nippur. We know from a series of archaeological digs in the late 19th century that the settlement housed a large school for scribes. There, along the river, young men and women learned what was then the relatively new art of writing. From the shallows they gathered reeds, cutting them obliquely to create their styluses. They collected clay from the river's banks and molded it into tablets or flattened circles or prisms, and by pressing their sharpened reeds into this still wet clay, they created the uniquely angular and cone-shaped script that gives their writing its name. Cuneiform. Sumer was an association of city-states, the largest probably containing no more than 80,000 people, about the population of a handful of blocks in Manhattan. They built temples of mud brick, went to war in chariots, played bull's head lyres, and worshipped a panoply of gods and goddesses with names like An and Ninhursag. In a scribal school like the one at Nippur, students learned to write, in part, by copying out well-known sayings. And much of what we know about the civilization comes from the study of these proverbs. Most of the proverbs have the distinctive smack of a small farming city on an ancient plain. There is a kind of homesteader's wit and wisdom. There is no baked cake in the middle of the dough. There are also aphorisms that seem to capture the specific violence of life in that era. You should not cut the throat of that which has already had its throat cut. Most are deeply dated, and many are simply confusing. What is eaten for today was put there by the dog. What is eaten by the dog was put there for today. The 12th proverb, though, stands apart from the rest. It invokes no vanished deities or lost cultural customs. Nearly 2 millennia before the birth of Christ, a student in Nippur pulled a lump of clay out of a basin of cool water, flattened it into a circle, and wrote these words: "Something which has never occurred since time immemorial. A young woman did not fart in her husband's embrace." It's the world's first recorded fart joke. But what's funny about the 12th proverb isn't the joke. Neither is it that humans should have evolved the faculty of language, then of writing, only to set down what is little more than a crude knock-knock. What's funny is that somehow, even thousands of years later, it feels like a joke we might still make. In fact, it is. There it is in Season 2, Episode 17 of the sitcom Third Rock from the Sun. When Mary, played by Jane Curtin, nonchalantly passes gas in front of her boyfriend, John Lithgow, an alien masquerading as a suburban father. It surfaces again in Season 1, Episode 11 of Sex and the City, when Carrie, Sarah Jessica Parker, does the same while snuggling with Mr. Big, thus throwing their affair into one of its many tumults. And there it is again in Mallrats, as Brody worries his flatulence may have been the death knell for his relationship. We now govern through an institution of representative democracy. We send ships careening through space at 165,000 miles.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?